afternoon, fellow legends. I'm Wilstuff, and damn it! Ghostbusters 3 got delayed till next March. I was gonna review one of its games. Well, to quote Ray's stance, not much sense worrying about it now. So anyway, I may as well just do something more inevitable than death, disappointing sequels, and mediocre reboots, and just review a goddamn game! But it is some bullshit backstory for no good reason. Now, speaking of which, I'd argue Ghostbusters needs no further introduction, other than the first one is a great movie, and as for the other two entries in the series, they're alright. Not great, not terrible, just fine. But like your elusive death, as well as, well, the 2/3 in the franchise already, video games were inevitable. And this is the only one I happen to own, Ghostbusters on PSP. But before we do that, I have one confession to make. Contrary to me reviewing the PSP version, I didn't grow up with this system at all. If anything, I was more of a DS kid. But even then, I wasn't that big into handheld gaming until I got, well, one of these bad boys back in Christmas of 2008. And even then, the only other handheld I had was a silver GBA, not the SP, but the original, which only had a few games that I owned, and the only good one I could name was Simpsons Road Rage, and I pinched my brother's Pokemon games a few times. But then I later discovered that, hey, there's some cool games on here, and it's pretty much like a PlayStation 2, but portable. Much like the HD versions from Terminal Reality, the downgraded PSP one from Redfly Studio follows the same general story, as it takes place less than 2 years after the second movie, with the Busters still staying afloat and also hiring a rookie. Interesting. And while we're on the topic of callbacks to the first film, Dickless returns. I mean, his mouth doesn't even move. That's fucking terrifying, mate. I mean, come on. The PSP graphics are slightly worse, yes. But that's just lousy. And creepy. Isn't that right, Spider Wizard?
Yes, that's a very good point, Will. Well, that reminds me of one time I turned a little kid into a spider, but the police didn't take it all too kindly.
Okay. Even I have no idea why I keep that spider bastard in my closet. Just don't ask, okay? Now, the graphics in this game are mostly good. They have that slight exaggerated look, that's a more stylized approach to that of the movie's art style, and I greatly respect that. I mean, take a look at old Slimer here, for example, as well as my boy Dr. Venkman. Oh, why am I backing up? Yeah, who cares, this looks cool. But this brings up a weird question. Why are the Ghostbusters based on their movie style, and yet Janine, on the other hand, is made much closer to her animated counterpart? Well, then again, she was like that in the second movie, so what's the point of me complaining about that, you ask? Good question. I don't care. But speaking of the graphics, you can see right here, this is the Ecto 1B, right? Well, in the PSP version, they just blatantly call it the Ecto 1, which isn't even true. I mean, look, this is an Ecto 1. That, my friends, is clearly the Ecto 1B, as it has the caution stripes from the second one, but also the no-ghost from the first movie. And speaking of characters, you can actually pick your gender for your own rookie character, unlike the HD versions, let alone their quote-unquote remaster from last year, which, for me personally, is a bigger missed opportunity than the Jason Reitman Ghostbusters sequel not being called Ghostbusters 3. And to address the elephant in the room, the controls in the PSP are just awkward. to put it lightly. I mean, I get this was 2004, but mate, if you're gonna have a circle pad, at least have two on there, like with the PS Vita. Because otherwise, with games like this, you'll just get fucking carpal tunnel or some shit. But I mean, aside from that, the game also lets you explore the firehouse, which is nice. And believe it or not, you can even talk to Vigo from number 2. God, it feels nice just to hear words of wisdom from the late Max von Sydow. May you rest in peace. In conclusion, Ghostbusters the video game on PSP is pretty good. It's not as overtly spectacular as the HD versions on PS3 or 360, but had 7-year-old me bought the game, I would have loved it. And as for the Nintendo DS version, it's a bitch to find in comparison, as it's the most expensive version to get.
Hey, I have a pretty good question. When are you going to do more of those memes? You know, like me, maybe?
Spider Wizard, I'm done with doing stupid memes, alright? I mean, it was just nothing more than a really stupid phase. And I kind of regret making that shit anyway.
Fine, I'll turn you into a spider myself.
Oh, not on my watch, you dead meme.
Try me, you obsessive man-child.
Kiss your ectoplasm goodbye, you spider wizard piece of shit.
Stop it, the tickles. I'll cut you and keep doing it.
Got you now, you delusional bum.
Oh, animal, not the talent. Everywhere the animal is. Oh shit, time so.
Yes, I caught a dead meme. Okay, well, sorry for that horrible pun. But at the same time, no, I'm not. And you know what, I hope you enjoyed my video. Feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, I greatly appreciate it. Now to review some more mediocre.
If there's something strange sleeping in your bed, let me tell you something. If there's something